There's cinnamon simmering on your wood stove and hard apples stored in the basement. And yes, pumpkin everything everywhere. It is officially Thanksgiving season. Now, no matter how you feel about the holiday of Thanksgiving, the practice of giving thanks and really becoming aware of all that it is that we have to give gratitude for is incredibly powerful. And the fact remains that Thanksgiving is the only holiday in the American calendar that we set aside for just expressing our gratitude. So however you decide to celebrate this holiday, really just becoming aware of this as an opportunity to be grateful for all that you've been given. Here where I live in the mountains of Appalachia, I'm blessed to be amongst a community of people who gather and grow and wildcraft much of their own food and medicine. So our Thanksgiving celebrations are a feast. It's amazing to truly be eating and partaking of the food that one has grown or one has wildcrafted from right outside their home. There is nothing that connects you in more deeply to the state of gratitude than to be able to dine on the foods that this earth gives so freely. Because truly we live amongst a banquet of such richness. That said, this is not the experience for most people in this country. Many of us live in suburban or urban areas, and wild gathering our food is just not at the top of our list. If you'd like to connect more deeply into the seasonality of this holiday and the richness of what the earth is truly giving to us, then try herbally infusing your Thanksgiving. The following suggestions for including herbs into your Thanksgiving are to keep you happy, healthy, and sane throughout this season of pies and parades. The first tip is to infuse your soup stocks with herbs. I particularly like to put burdock in my soup stocks. Burdock is an incredibly rich and nutritive herb that has a long history as food medicine. It's also a pretty abundant wild weed. Many people have burdock growing right outside their house or in their gardens and are taking it out all the time as a nuisance. And they don't know that you can actually dig up the root, chop it up, and put it right into your soup stocks. Burdock is a very gentle, nourishing herb for increasing our liver balance. So especially as we move into the season of cocktails and tipsy nights, it's good to be giving our liver a little bit of nourishment. My favorite way to add burdock to my soup stock is just to get one handful of the cut and sifted root that you can really get anywhere that herbs are sold, and put that right into my gallon of soup, along with my other veggies or bones if I'm making a bone broth. This is a great way to really infuse any soup stock, but it can also be particularly helpful when you're making a simple veggie stock. This adds a whole new level of nutrients here, and it makes it taste quite nutty and delicious. As a liver tonic, burdock is also recommended for skin conditions. So that would be eczema, psoriasis, even breakouts. A lot of times the things that manifest on our skin are kind of like the canary in the coal mine for our liver, because our liver does so much work of processing. And let's be serious, the holidays can kind of be intense with processing, both physically and emotionally. So burdock is one of my favorite herbs to be taken tonically just to keep me in tip-top, happy, healthy shape. The next idea is for a Hawthorne and cranberry sauce. So everybody knows cranberry sauce, tart and delicious, but most people don't realize that the reason why we make cranberry sauce are because cranberry bogs are ripe with berries as we go into fall. Many of us don't have cranberry bogs right in our backyard, but another way to really be connecting into the seasonality of this time is to infuse this as well with hawthorn berries. Hawthorne was a traditional, important tree of the Druids. It was thought to hold the gateway between this world and the next world. And the way in which we can sort of open this perception of the other world and of magic is through the gateway of our hearts. Now, not unsurprisingly, in Western medicine, hawthorn is considered a cardiotonic. It literally strengthens the pump that is our heart. It strengthens our muscle. So we take hawthorn tonically for our hearts, to nourish our hearts, to keep them strong. And this is pretty important in the Thanksgiving time, especially as many of us gather with extended family. It's a good time to go into a gathering feeling really strong and nourished in one's heart. So the following recipe is for making a cranberry hawthorn sauce to bring to your Thanksgiving gathering. So start with 2 cups of fresh cranberries and 1 cup of dried hawthorn berries. And again, you can get this anywhere that herbs are sold. You're going to wash the cranberries and then soak the hawthorn berries in warm water for about 10 minutes to soften. After they're soft, remove the pits, drain, and discard the water. And then you're going to chop up the hawthorn. You could also put it into a food processor or blender. At this point, you're going to combine it on the stove top with 1 cup sugar and another cup water. Bring to a boil and simmer until the cranberry skins burst. This is about 8 to 10 minutes. At the end, you can doctor in any way you like by perhaps adding orange rind or any spices you desire. Just smash it up a bit to make sure it's a really nice chunky sauce. Allow it to cool, and you're done. The next tip is a boozy one, and that's to make adaptogenic hot toddies. So I don't know about where you live, but here in the mountains, hot toddies are kind of a big deal. Whiskey's a medicine for all occasions. Hot toddies are basically just hot water or hot tea mixed with whiskey, often with a good dollop of sugar or honey stirred in. Hot toddies are delicious. Not only do they warm you up, but as a tea, they have this ability to really hand you some medicine as you're getting a little bit boozy. Adaptogens are herbs that help our bodies, hearts, and minds deal with stress, something that is endemic to the holiday season. Adaptogens really help us be more graceful in stressful situations. Some of my favorite adaptogens to infuse into my tea include tulsi, eleuthero, reishi, and licorice. Now you could do these all together or you could do them separate, keeping in mind that herbs, as in plant material like leaves and flowers, like to be infused, versus roots and berries, which like to be boiled slightly. So in order to make a hot toddy with something like eleuthero, which is also known as Siberian ginseng, what you would do is you would put this root in with your water and bring both the water and the herb up to a boil. When it hits boil, lower it to a simmer, put the lid on, and let it simmer for 20 minutes. Now if you have something like tulsi, which is a medicinal basil out of India, all you're going to have to do for this leaf is like you would do with a normal tea. Just put it in with your just boiled water, cover it, and let it sit. No need to heat on the stove. Now, if working with loose herbs is too much for you to keep track of, don't worry about it. You can definitely get tea bags with a variety of different adaptogenic herbs. Just know that this is one way to keep your family cool and a little less stressed during the holiday season. The very last tip is perhaps the most unethical tip of this video, and that is stealth flower essences. So flower essences really help us with stress, overwhelm, anxiety, fear, paranoia, all things that come up during the holidays or when you are in charge of creating Thanksgiving dinner. That said, not everyone's open to the idea of taking a flower essence, so I feel it is ethically sound and totally fine to stealth add flower essences to drinks, to food. Now, flower essences are a homeopathic grade remedy. They're a vibrational remedy, so that means that it doesn't contraindicate with any medications that someone might be on, and for the most part, they're so subtle that barely anyone would even notice. They might just feel a slightly more relaxed. If this doesn't feel ethical enough to you, just let your family know, hey, I put some Star of Bethlehem essence into our punch bowl. They're probably not even going to know what that means, but you know that you're giving them a little bit of extra energetic plant support throughout dinner time. My favorite essences for this kind of stealth bombing are crocus, which is wonderful for helping to open up hearts that feel a little stuck or heavy, elm, which is the flower essence for feeling burdened or overwhelmed, and Bach's 5-flower formula, which is just one that's recommended in general for anxiety. So if you like this video, then go ahead and share it with your whole family. How about this? Instead of watching the game, you can put on this video on Thanksgiving. Just kidding, I totally know that you're not going to do that, but you can still share it with your friends. Let your family know that you're going to treat them to something really nice this Thanksgiving. Subscribe to this channel if you want to continue to receive videos like this, and overall, try to just enjoy. This is a time of gratitude and thanksgiving. And if it ever starts to feel a little too overwhelming, take a step back. Remember 5 things that you are deeply grateful for in your life. And with each thing, take a deep breath in and out. And just let go.